BRENcast, 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗰𝘀𝘁. We're here. It is I, BREN, the one-man band, with my family and my friends and my team, Cameron and Tina. Why don't you guys introduce? I always introduce you guys. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
My name is Cameron. I am a filmmaker and also a content creator and editor and RuneScape player and fish lover and cat owner and...
Legit, This is all true.
You told me to introduce myself.
Yeah. Tina, what are you?
I'm Tina. I do BREN promo, content creator, bookings. What else do I do? Personal chef.
Yeah, she's good at that.
Dog mom.
Yeah, she's great at that.
Artist.
Yep.
Book reader. Movie watcher.
Nice.
Yeah, all the things.
Okay, I was going to cut you off there. Anyway, this is the BRENcast, guys. This is our show where we just hang out with the fam. We talk about creative. We talk about music. We talk about this is what it's like to be a human being. Yeah. Sorry, I literally just woke up. I feel like I'm still not quite on the ball yet today. So I'm going to let Cam lead the show. Cam had a bunch of stuff from last week that we didn't get to touch on because we were just rolling on some topics last week. So... yeah, how we feeling this week and what's on the docket? Is that what they say? What's on the plan? What's on the schedule? What's on the agenda? What are we doing?
Well, I do have a question to start the show. By the way, I want to say hello to all the live viewers. We also live stream this podcast, so if you're interested in joining that, become a member on the YouTube.
Yep.
BREN One Man Band is the best way you could find him through the search bar. Don't search BREN.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Look up BREN Music or something.
Yeah, BREN One Man Band.
You can even say BREN Guitar and it'll probably come up.
Yeah.
BREN Looping.
Yeah.
BREN One Man Band, BREN Live Looping.
BREN Social.
Yeah.
Probably BREN Live even, I imagine. But if you're interested in asking any questions, anybody out there watching live, ask some questions. You can contribute to the conversation in that way. So that's kind of the cool thing about this podcast. But I have a question to start the show. What would you tell your 20-year-old self as a musician? You're 31. What would you say to yourself 11 years ago?
Oh man, where was I at the age of 20? So 20 was basically straight out of high school. I guess my story a little bit was out of high school. I was a weird kid where I knew at the age of like 9 years old, like I knew like I'm gonna do music and everything else kind of like there's no point in basically trying at school. Like I knew I was like, this is all stupid and pointless. There's no point. I'm gonna do music. So by the time I was, I think, 17, you're in your last year, 17, 18, last year of school, and they're like, okay, well, what are you doing? What college are you going to? What university? What career path are you going to take? And everyone was starting to pick their schools and pick their career paths and start to apply and all those stuff. And I was the one, I mean, maybe not the one kid in school, but I remember the teachers were always giving me such a tough time because I would just laugh in their face, like legit laugh in their face. Like I was kind of a brat. But basically, yeah, I was like, okay, BREN, they sit you down, you're sitting with the guidance counselor. So what are we doing? What school are we applying to? And I'm just like, none. Like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to play music for a living. And maybe I was a little arrogant and overconfident about it at the time. Little did I know it would take about, 5 years out of high school for it to actually finally start to click. And then a decade, really, for it to really click. It was like a solid career path. So I guess you could say I took the long way, but back then, even though I was overly confident and arrogant about things, I think maybe I didn't quite know how much commitment and discipline it would take. I think when you're young, you think that maybe you could just ride off of like talent alone. But what I learned, I think, over that decade, from the ages of 21 to 31, is I learned, talent can only really get you so far. And it's actually your work ethic, your discipline, those things that will take you to the next level. And so I think for me, if I could tell my 21-year-old self anything, I would say, hey, okay, you're pretty good, but you ain't that good. You got some work to do. And enjoy the work and just stick to it, stay consistent, because it'll pay off in the end. But like time is undefeated, is one of the things I would say, is just keep with it. And it will, as long as you stick with it, you do have a good work ethic, it'll work itself out. I mean, what would you guys say to yourself from 10 years ago, your younger self straight out of high school? Or, what was your story like? Like I said, I knew I was doing music. I knew I wasn't going to school. Cameron, what was your like? Because I know you pretty much dropped out, didn't you?
No, I got the diploma. Technically, I got it.
I remember it like Cameron was trying to drop out, but his school wouldn't let him, so they like passed him anyway.
There was a bit of that. No, actually, there was a bit of that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was the same way. The academic route was just not for me, man. I even at one point went back to school because I thought, oh, maybe this is the move, because you're in a band and everybody in the band is doing school and moving away and all this stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe I do that as well. And then I hated it, so I dropped out again, kind of thing. I had to go back to get an English credit, is what it was, to actually qualify for English post-secondary. Anyways, to tell myself something from 10 years ago, I guess it would be just like pick a lane, dude, because I've done so many things, like so many different things. That's the one thing about you, Brennan, is like you played music. You've had hobbies and other stuff, but like really the profession has been music, whereas I've dipped my toes in a bunch of things. And
well, if you remember, we did a lot of different projects, and I mean the podcast thing in itself was the thing that we were pursuing for a while, and different avenues. So I totally understand that. Sticking to a lane's big, because I mean there's a couple of times even I tried to quit music, I tried to do other things, I tried to move on, and it just kept coming back to me. So eventually I just learned, hey, this is your thing, just accept it and get really good at it, specialize on it, right? So what was it for you that you kind of knew, hey, I gotta pick a lane now?
Yeah, it ended up being film. I just I kind of looked at the sort of common thread throughout my entire life, and it's always been film. Like even with music, my favorite thing was like music videos, music in movies, like the way music pairs with a film, you know, and making videos and creating content and editing and telling stories. That's always just been my thing. So yeah, I just kind of decided, all right, I'm going to try doing this web series thing. And then we made the web series, and eventually I had a really good camera and I had all these skills, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that this was like something that I can turn into a career. So like value I can give, like I actually have something that nobody else has. And I noticed that when I was working landscaping, as I was like cutting grass and trimming hedges and whatever, alongside people who didn't have any, like this is all they had. They didn't build any skill set or any specialized knowledge that they can monetize. So like, yeah, that was their thing. They cut shrubs. I was making coffee next to the people who that was their thing. They just make coffee. They would go home and watch TV or do their thing and consume whatever. And they didn't have that. And I always just felt like, man, I'm just like kind of wasting away here when I actually have like something that the world needs, which is, these skills, So, and you realize too, you get paid for what you give, man. Like the 12 year, people ask how long you've been editing. I say 12 years. They're like, whoa. And it's true. It's like 12 years I've been editing all sorts of content, not just one kind of content, but consistently. And it adds up, man. It's the same with music. It's like, how long have you been playing music?
Years,
17 years, 18 years, like.
But I love that point that you mentioned about picking a lane and sticking to it, and it's really hard to do that. I think, especially when you're young, you're like trying things. Like you gotta try things and figure out, what lane even makes sense for me. And I think I was definitely blessed at a young age where like I picked a lane at 9 years old. Like even though there's times where I tried to stray from the lane or do other things, like I made that decision so young. I kind of knew. But I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of like, I don't know, it's hard for me to relate because I've had that for such a long time. But I guess there's people out there who don't and never had that. They never had like that one thing or made that decision at a young age. Like you with video where you're like, hey, I love this thing. I'm just going to do this as much as I can, get better. Get better. And a lot of people, they just kind of like, hey, I'm really into like sewing right now. Maybe I'm going to be a seamstress, or hey, I'm really into like radio, I'm going to be a radio host, or hey, I'm really, and it just like, they keep bouncing from like thing to thing and looking for the most fun, new, exciting thing. I think that's such a great topic. It's such a great point, because there's times where like, I'm sure you can relate, where editing is not fun. It's not exciting. Filmmaking is not fun. It's not exciting. There's a lot of monotony. There's a lot of like bull crap you got to get through in order to like get to the points where it is fun and fulfilling and there's things about it that you love. Because that's how I feel about music, right? it's not like I love every little bit of the process of being a gigging musician. Like there's times where I gotta load my gear and I gotta pack everything up and I'm like, oh my God, like can this just like set itself up? Like, or you gotta play it, practice the song. It's just, oh my gosh, I wish I could just like have it down by now. It's like, even when it's something that you love, even when it's something you're passionate about, there's parts of it that are not fun and exciting. And so I feel like those are the moments where people start to give up and they're like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. I thought this would be fun and it's not. And let me go and try something else. And hey, that's new and it's exciting. It's got this novelty to it that like makes me want to do it a lot. But it just, that the willingness to stick through something you love, even when it sucks. And it's like, I don't love it right now.
What do you think of the quote, like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life or whatever, like...
I think that's a little bit, it's a generalization. Like, there's always things you don't like. I don't know, man. I've just been willing to like eat crap sometimes and actually kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what, it reminds me of Mike Tyson for some reason, but he's like, learn to do what you hate and love doing it. And like, because, in boxing, you're getting beat up, you're beating up your body, you're sore, you're exhausted, all these things. And it's like, learn to love that. Learn to love the hard work. Learn to love the pain. Learn to love the things that are like the obstacles, the things that get in your way. And when you learn to love those things, and even you don't have to love it, but if you could get through it for the love of the game, at least, maybe you make it to the other side and you feel fulfilled, right? Like there's a certain level of like, a fun hobby's a fun hobby, or a fun, like music's fun and all, but it becomes fulfilling and it becomes like it hits you really deep in your heart. And I think when you're like, when you do go through the tough times, you go through the bad times, and then you find the love and passion in it as well. Yeah. So, does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, no, it does.
Sure.
I think to just add a little piece there, like make sure you're good at it as well, right? It's got to be something that somewhat flows for you. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's kind of a given. Like, and that's when you're young and you got to try things and just kind of figure out what resonates with you. And it does help when you have people around you who say, hey, you are kind of like really good at that thing, or you could really, you could sew, dude. Like that cloth you knitted was amazing. Like someone's got to, maybe it's a parent or a friend or an aunt or uncle. Somebody's got to help
just
push you in the right direction.
Somebody may tell you though that you're amazing at something doesn't mean it's something that you want to do for the rest of your life. It could just be a hobby for you.
True.
Right? Like.
Yeah.
That's another part of picking a lane, man. It's I realize too, like, okay, if I pick this thing, film, whatever that means, it means a million things. That's the cool thing about it, right? So does music. It can mean so many different things. But you pick that lane and you realize, okay, this is my work. Like, there's play in work, there's fun, there's flow, there's whatever, but it is my work.
Yep.
And so there's an amount of like professionalism about it. There's an amount of like showing up consistently, of sacrifice.
Eating crap. Like I said, you're gonna have to eat crap.
I tell people, eat the poo poo. Like,
exactly.
I'm literally, people are like, how do you get clients? And I say, just like, you gotta do free work. Like you quite literally have to like get paid $0 and get awfully good to the point where it's like they want you. Yeah, whatever it costs. I've done enough free work now that a lot of this stuff is online. People just reach out. They're like, I like what you have. I want you. It takes a long time to get there, though. And not to mention, like, I didn't get paid a dime for any of the 𝗕𝗥𝗃𝗡𝗃 vids or any of the any of those old stuff. All the short films I made and all the music videos for Letterbomb and for you early on, like. That was all me eating poo poo, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. You enjoyed the poo poo. And I remember there's this one event where I was driving home. I got paid nothing. I worked all day. I paid gas to get there, so I lost money. And I'm also like $4,000 in the hole for the gear that I brought out there. And I remember a quote from Napoleon Hill, which was, "There's no such thing as something for nothing." And the context that he was speaking about was, you can't ask life to give you something without you having to give something in return, right? You can't be like, oh, I want $10,000, and then you just sit around. It's like, no, there's no such thing as something for nothing, right? And so I kind of reversed that, and I said, there's no such thing as like there's no effort you can give without something coming back, right? So I was like, something's gonna come of this. Something's gonna come of this, and I was just like, I had to just repeat it out loud because I was gonna explode because I just felt like a piece of garbage. I was choking on the poo poo. And a few weeks later, I finished the video, and they sent me money. They didn't have to send me money. I did it for free, and the lady apparently was in tears and loved the video, and they ended up sending me money. So that was the most poo poo I've ever eaten, and it actually resulted in, that. Like something actually did come back, and I didn't ask. I didn't say anything. I just made the best product I could make. That's all I did.
Yeah.
Right. So it taught me a very valuable lesson.
Yeah, dude, you never know what's going to come back. You put in the effort, you put in the time and the energy, you never quite know how it's going to return
above and
to you,
beyond,
right?
especially. Yeah.
Tina, I'm curious about you. If you had any advice for little Tina, what do you have any advice for OG Tina?
Well, I was just a mess in high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I just knew I didn't like school. So, I don't know. I think I would just be like, it's okay. It'll all work out. It'll be okay.
Fix your microphone too there for you, just in case I can't hear you very well.
True.
Fixing the microphone real quick.
If you can't hear Tina, I apologize.
That's why. Okay.
We'll fix her up.
Yeah, we'll fix me up. But that's what I would just say is like, it'll all work out. It'll be okay.
Were you kind of afraid of the future kind of thing?
Well, I just didn't have anything that I was passionate about. So I didn't want to go in school just to go into school. And everybody around me is like, why aren't you going to school? Why aren't you going to college? What the heck? And I was like, well, I don't have a passion for anything yet. So why would I go into something just to do it? So I took a different path and I got a job. I worked really hard and I ended up buying a house at like 19 years old. So that was pretty cool. I did that instead. So I had at least some equity in my life, and then eventually met you, bought a van, had some cool adventures. So, and then I found art as my passion, and it's been a lot of fun doing that. So I think for me, it was just like, wait, it'll come to you because it's just not hitting you yet. Came later.
That's good. That's good advice too. Like I said for myself, like coming out of high school, that last year of high school, all the guidance counselors, teachers, even fellow students, your friends, mom and dad, everybody's asking you what college you going to, where are you going, what are you doing with your life essentially. And sometimes sometimes you ain't ready. Like there's two examples. I knew I was at 9 years old, I was ready. I was like, this is the thing. It might not work out for a while, but it's going to work out. I don't care. And Tina, you're like the opposite. You didn't have that thing and you just kind of waited patiently for it to kind of, to hit you and work itself out. And totally two different paths, but it's a good conversation. It's a good topic.
Sure. I think there's a lot of pressure sometimes to know yourself so young too. And sometimes you just don't, and that's okay. And then sometimes you do, and you know yourself so well, and you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be this, and that's great. But don't push yourself into something if you're not ready for it, if you don't know yet. It's okay.
And there's a lot of pressure coming from everybody to say, hey, pick a thing now. But if you're not ready, you're not ready, and it's okay to kind of discover life, try some different things, and figure that stuff out. So
yeah, because then through discovering life and having experiences, then you might fall into something and go, oh wow, I actually love traveling, and I'm gonna be a travel vlogger or something. You never know.
Yeah, sure. And you saved a bunch of money in tuition by not going to 5 different colleges.
Yeah, exactly.
5 different things. I know some people who are just bouncing from class to class to from college to college trying to figure out what is it. And that's a tough path too. So anyway, what else we got on there?
Well,
sorry, excuse me.
It's all good.
Coffee.
Drink your coffee.
Coffee's sticking to my
airways.
I
think the important thing though is your path wouldn't exist without other people. Other people are the key to your path. Who is this for? What are you doing it for? What are you giving to? Whether it be you're an accountant, you're helping people with their freaking finances or whatever it is. Whatever it is you're giving, you're in medicine, you're helping people heal, whatever. You're a musician, you're entertaining, you're a whatever. It's important to have that dimension of it, because when guidance counselors approach you, they're like, what do you want to do? What is you? And it's like,
you're like, I don't know.
It has nothing. It almost has zero to do with you, because it's like, if nobody else existed, then there would be no professions. It's all Am I putting that in the right way? Like,
I hear what you're saying.
Like,
There's
what's
a
the
big,
value you
there's a
want to put
big,
in the world,
yeah,
right?
a big aspect of value, and like I think that's another reason I always come back to music is because it's like, it's one of the things that I'm like naturally like I'm good at it, and so other people, you know, appreciate that. And I think that's a big thing. It's like, it's not always about me, because there's times where I didn't want to do music. I want to do other things. And then people were like, hey, go grab your guitar. You sound really good. And I'm like, I don't want to grab my guitar. I want to, you know, I want to grab my skateboard. I want to do something else. I want to whatever. And it always comes back to, wait a second, I'm really good at this thing. People find value in this thing. And it's, yeah, another big point of that is like knowing yourself to a point where you know what you have to offer. Like where are you best suited, right? In a world, where are you going to add the most value for everybody around you? So that's another big point of it too, is not getting too caught up in myself and what would I like to do. I mean, I would love to just like get paid, make a career, make a living off just riding my electric unicycle around town and just on trails and just doing that whole thing. That being said, nobody's getting any value from that except for me. I enjoy it, right? So it's like a career is a transaction at the end of the day. You know, you got to have something to offer if you want to expect anything good in return. So
yeah, and I mean, like there's been numerous like psychological studies on like you're more fulfilled when you give. Like you're more fulfilled. Like you can spend your lifetime riding a unicycle and enjoying yourself, or you could spend your lifetime like giving value. Who on their deathbed's gonna be like regretful? Probably the person who spent their life isolated playing on a freaking unicycle.
Well, it's an electric unicycle, so it's a different thing. It's got a 2,500 watt motor. It can rip at 65 kilometers an hour. Self-balancing, but that's a topic for another time. What else have we got?
That's another podcast.
Do we have any questions in our chat from our members who are watching the show now? If you guys didn't know, Cam said it earlier. If you're a member of the channel on YouTube, you actually get to watch these podcasts before anybody else. You actually get to be a part of it. You're a part of it right now, asking questions. Who do we got in our members-only chat, and do they have any questions?
No questions yet. We're just chatting amongst themselves.
I got another question.
Thank you.
Whoops. I'm ruining the show.
So, growing up, you know, like, I remember that feeling of elation that you get when someone goes up to you after a gig and they're like, you're amazing. You're the best thing I've ever seen. Like, you're going places. You're awesome. Whatever. You know, and you're like a child and you're like...
Well, you got that a lot, Cameron, because you were like the 9-year-old drummer extraordinaire in this band.
Yeah, but you were the front man.
Yeah,
so, I think it's pretty balanced.
I wasn't getting as much as you. I'm not going to lie, because I'm 14, 15.
Yeah.
You know,
They're like, that's
I'm pretty
normal.
good. Yeah, but you were
Whatever.
the 9-year-old drummer, so you got a lot of that. It was pretty fun back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
people used to come up to me and be like, wow, dude, your band's so good. Your drummer's only 9. He's incredible. And I'm like, thanks. What about that song I wrote? Is the song any good? No, dude, the drummer's sick.
Yeah. So it was like heads blown up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do great things. I'm going to change the world. Now, for you, like, when did that stop? Like, when was there that moment where you're like, oh, I am just kind of a normal guy and I am just gonna kind of, like, I'm not gonna change the world kind of thing in that grandiose sense? Like, you grow up watching the Beatles and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like that.
Yeah.
That's how big our heads were, man.
I'm still gonna be like that. Like, I don't quite know what you're trying to refer to. No, but when did that stop? I don't know. Like, you know, there's a lot of ups and downs, dude. If you guys don't know, we were in a band, Cam and I, for a long time, and that was like the dream because we were really young, and it was like, okay, this is gonna work out. This is, like Cam said, this is it. Like, we're gonna be like the Beatles, like we're gonna be like Green Day, and nothing else matters. And so when the band broke up, it was kind of like, okay, it's all game over from here. So I went from, dude, in my life, guys, I've gone through so many, like, oh my God, I'm on top of the world, to, oh my God, it's the end of the world, to I'm back on top, to, it's like, dude, my life has really been this kind of crazy roller coaster. I know a lot of people are kind of coasting right in the middle and just life's pretty cool and it's normal. Dude, for me, it's been like the end of the world and amazing at the same time. So for me, I've hit so many rock bottoms that I've kind of created, like, acknowledge this, like, humble, I don't really matter. This is all just kind of like, you know, fun. Like, we're all just kind of doing this thing. Like, I guess I don't take it all kind of so seriously where it's like I have to be anything. Like, I'm just happy to be here. And I think I say that a lot, even in my live streams. Like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be playing music. I'm just happy to be experiencing this life, because there's been so many times where it was like, oh, life is legit over. Like I thought, you guys know my whole story even recently with the new song I put out. Like that's about a moment in my life where I thought for sure it was all over. So like I've had so many moments where like that, where it's just like, yeah, dude, it'll be all right. I'm just happy to be waking up another day. You know what I mean? Like it's a very grounded approach, I think. And back in the day, it was when you're a kid and everybody's telling you that you have to do this, you have to be that, or whatever it is. That was like living in the clouds. It was just too much. And so hitting the ground, hitting rock bottom has really helped to ground me. And I don't think I've ever kind of like crawled out of that mentally in such a way. Like I legit am just happy to be here, happy to be doing this thing. So
Yeah.
does that answer your question, or is that too simple?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. No, I was just wondering because like we always had this kind of idea of like making it or like getting signed or whatever that means, and it would be this finish line like everything's good, we did it.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, I was just wondering what your relationship with that finish line has been.
Well, you know, another thing, not just hitting the rock bottom, but also having moments of success, like having moments where like ultimate success, everybody's happy, you've provided value, like
Job well done, kind of.
dude, job well done. Like I've accomplished a lot of goals too. As many times many times if I hit rock bottom, I've also hit the peak and like accomplished my goals that I've had for like so long. And so having both those things, it just kind of like, I don't know, what was your question again?
I was just talking about
I lost
that.
it for a second.
I was just talking about that ideal of like finally making it.
Yeah, I guess what I was trying to get to is when you do make it, you do accomplish your goals, you kind of realize it's really not that. You know, you think, oh my God, I had this amazing goal. Once I accomplish it, my life is complete and it's all over and I did it and I'm going to feel amazing for the rest of my life. You're not, dude. It's on to the next one. Like every time you accomplish a goal, like you really are just, it's cool for a minute and then you're on to the next one. And so when I realized even accomplishing my goals, like there's always going to be another goal. So you never get too excited you get excited, you get happy, you're excited, but you never get so like wrapped up in the ups or the downs, and you just kind of realize that life is a roller coaster, dude. Your career, your life, your mood, you're gonna have moments where, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world and I did it, it's the end of the world, you know. And either way, it's, you really do just kind of like find a balance in it all. And again, I don't really necessarily have all the answers. I'm still in the process of all this, but in my experience, it's a lot of that. Like I've had so many ups and downs where I just feel like, okay, here's another up, here's another down. You don't get too caught up in it and you could just find a balance and be grounded through it all, right?
Yeah, do you experience many like 10s? Like the 10 out of 10? Because I've for me, it's been like so much less. Like even the premiere, I wouldn't even call that a 10 out of 10. Like I was probably a solid 8 or something. I don't know. Like I never get too high like I used to.
Oh yeah, not like I used to, but like I will say, Tina and I recently were at the beach and she informed me recently that I accomplished a goal of mine that I've had for like literally a decade, bro. Like we used to be in this room in the living room where I lived in this house, and I had my computer screen. I'd sit there, read out my goals, you know, this goal, that goal, this goal, and I had a specific financial goal that I wanted to reach. And for me, financial goal, it was important to me because we grew up pretty. I don't want to say we grew up completely poor, but we grew up where there's a lot of struggles. You know, we'd be fighting over the cereal, bro. It was like as soon as groceries came in, it was like, I need to get to that cereal first before Cameron eats it, before Dad eats it, because if I don't eat it, there's gonna be no cereal left. Like we come from a place where it's like, there's a lot of scarcity at certain moments. So when she informed me, I accomplished this financial goal that I've had for like a decade, and I didn't even realize it. Like it just kind of like came up out of nowhere. Like she said it and I was like, oh, wait a second. I made that goal like a decade ago. And here we are 10 years later and I actually accomplished it. And it was like it was like a 10, dude. It was like, oh my gosh, dude, I actually, but it wasn't like a 10 for me today. It was a 10 for like me at 21. And I was like, oh, wait a second. Like that kid's not crazy. Like I thought that kid was crazy because, you know, you have all these wild goals. You read them to yourself every day. You do the affirmations, you get into the Tony Robbins personal development, you're trying to improve yourself and like do what you got to do to get to that goal. And then there's times where you're like, oh, that was all stupid. I was just wasting my time. You know, what's positivity is pointless and stupid. And you're down on yourself. You can have moments like that. And then it's like, here we are a decade later, I've accomplished a 10. And even then, like I say, bro, I accomplished this goal. I'm on to the next one. Like
Yeah.
within 30 minutes, I'm plotting.
moved on.
I'm ready for the next goal. And that's the kind of the fun of it. If you were just satisfied all the time with your one decision or your one goal that you've accomplished, like that's not life, man. Life is ups and downs and everything in between. So yeah, man, I guess I don't know, they say if you know how they say sometimes like people who get really high and get really, like I said this earlier, like I get really low and I get really high, and some people are just always in the middle. I don't mind the lows and the highs. I think that's life. Like it's okay to kind of like experience those things. And anytime I'm at a low, I appreciate the highs, and every time I'm at a high, I appreciate the lows. Like I just said, man, I accomplished this goal, and I think back to when I had nothing and when I wanted the goal so bad, I tried so hard. So it's like, I think it's okay to have these peaks and valleys and to kind of live within those. I think that's more exciting life than just being always at baseline and, you know, always just chill and life's this. And different strokes for different folks. But for me, I kind of like the roller coaster ride. You guys ever experience that in life as well? Or you guys kind of relate more to like the, I'm just easy going, I'm at this path, like.
I don't know, I think you're sometimes also just really hard on yourself naturally. That I, as your wife, think that you should let yourself enjoy those like 10s a lot more often, because I think you have them more often than you think, than that you would like to give yourself credit for. But that's just me.
You're biased.
I'm very biased.
Biased.
I'm very biased. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I have a different outlook on this business than you. I'm not the musician, so I'm fine with just kind of like being here and being like, yep, we're good. We're riding this. And then we'll hit some highs sometimes, and those are great. But yeah, I guess I'm mostly here with the business.
Yeah, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a roller coaster of a human being with my emotions and goals and everything. What about you? Like, you just, like you said, you hit some 10s recently and they felt like 8s. Is that what you said? Or
yeah, I just like, you know, you blow it up in your head and then it happens and you're like, oh, okay. Like it doesn't feel out of the norm.
yeah.
When I say 10, like 10 would just be like completely out of the norm. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this. That's probably what you were experiencing at the beach.
Well, it was a bit of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was just, it wasn't even like I built it up to be a 10. It was just like I guess for me, it was like a goal I made a decade ago that I all of a sudden accomplished
go,
a decade
whoa, wait
later.
a sec. Yeah.
Dude, for me, it was just a, whoa, wait a second. Like,
Yeah.
I really had a moment of like, speaking to you, my brother, who's like had a very similar experience. Like we went through a lot of the personal development kind of addiction together, where it's like, dude, Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, like all these books, like all these podcasts, like trying to learn everything you can about human psychology and like optimizing, you know, how you run your life and how you run your thoughts and your day to day and everything. And there's many times where I thought all that stuff was stupid and it's crazy and pointless and just a waste of time. Until I, you know, started actually accomplishing the goals that I had set for myself. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. Like, I just had a moment where it's like, oh, dude, it's real. Like you actually can accomplish your goals if you set them. It'll take you forever and it'll like suck halfway. Like it'll suck all the time, really. But you can do it. And so that was just an exciting moment for me. So I don't know, you'd call it a 10, I guess. But it was a very kind of like quick 10, you know, 10, and then I'm moving on to, I'm back to 5.
It's kind of what,
Yeah.
It's kind of how the film was for me. And then I think it took about a month or two because I like revisited my, you know, chart that I read every day, and making the film was on there. And I was just like, man, just never thought I'd make a movie until I was like 40. I'm like, I'll be some established 40-year-old adult and then I'll be ready to make a movie or something. But yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and here's another thing that happened to me. I once went from a 10 to a 0, like within a few hours. I've had that before. Have you had that before?
I can't think of an example.
Well, it's just like you accomplish a goal that you've had for so long, and then it's not. You didn't feel the way you were expected to feel, or it didn't turn out the way you wanted. So you went from 10 to 0 like instantly. Because you're like, oh, I did it. And you're like, wait, I did it, but this is what I did. Like, this is it. Like, oh man, like I thought this was going to be, and right, you're straight from 10 to 0. Like I've had that too. And that's just like that's a humbling moment.
We got this retirement mindset. Like I'll be able to chill after all that. It's like, the chill doesn't feel good.
No. You just got to keep going. And enjoy the process. Like there's something about, like I said earlier, about
huge.
Eating the crap and being, and liking the taste. And just like going through it. And that's kind of, it's fulfilling in itself. I don't know. But I don't know if this make any sense to you guys and your guys' experience and stuff, but we got any new questions here in the members? Anything by chance? No pressure.
Yes, the most random. Beata Joy.
Oh, nice.
I don't know who she is, but she said, Bren, would you dabble in art?
Would I dabble in art? I've dabbled before.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. I've dabbled a little bit. I mean, in an art career or anything like that, like, no. Like,
Never.
I'm at the point where it's like, I've come to realize I'm pretty good. I mean, I'm really good at one thing. It's being a one-man band.
Yeah.
It's making music. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm succeeding. I'm on the right path. And I've dabbled in a lot of different things. But I think the point of this conversation, in a way, is like, it's okay to dabble. It's okay to have hobbies and all these things. But if you're going to pick a lane, you got to stick to it. And it's no more dabbling no more. Like with music, I'm not dabbling in music. Like, I'm all in. I'm doing everything, right?
You're dedicated.
I'm definitely dabbling in electric unicycles. Like, I'm definitely on the side, like, having fun with this hobby.
Yeah.
But that being said, I know that all of my time and energy and, like, true passion has got to go into this thing that's not a dabble anymore. Like, I'm all in. Like, there's nothing else for me. It's a full career at this point. Like, I got to do it. So it's okay to dabble in things. And I think especially when you're younger, you got to dabble in this, dabble in that, and figure out what kind of, like, draws you in and what really makes sense for you. But yeah, and it's okay to have that. That's another thing I'm realizing also in the last 6 months or so, is that, like, you go so hard in one thing and you kind of put everything, all of yourself into this hobby or this, not hobby, but this career that you've chosen, this work that you have. And, sometimes it's nice to have those hobbies and to have things on the side that you dabble in, right?
You have to, I think.
And this is like a given, like, obviously, right?
You have to have different hobbies and get yourself out of work, right? Because at the end of the day, music is your passion, but it's also, your job. Just like any job, you got to have your things that you love to do outside of work, just for good balance.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's nice to have some
Yeah.
things that you dabble with, but not too many and not too often. Like, stick to your lane. Once you pick your lane, like, go all in and do it to the best of your ability.
The coolest thing is that anybody can be a professional, like, really, really good at something if you just pick that lane and you work really hard. Like, it's kind of cool, and it doesn't require an academic path per se. Like, it could, but it doesn't. And I always thought it does, and it's just cool that life is just so full of possibility. And it also doesn't matter how old you are either. Like, start now, start something. And if it's something that you're passionate in, that you're willing to put a lot of work in, you can become a literal, like, professional in your field.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, it depends on what field we're talking about.
100%. I would also say, like, also, like, you're told sometimes, hey, you could do anything you want. You could be anything and everything. And that's exciting and free and stuff. But then I would also say, like, no, you can't. Like, and deep down, if you ask yourself, like, you can't. Like, there's certain things you will never be able to do. And you have to accept that. Like, for example, Tina, I'm sorry. You're never going to be a pro basketball player. Like, ever. Yeah. I promise you, it's never going to happen. No offense. You short, girl.
If it was, like, alongside, like, wheelchair basketball or something, maybe you could.
The midget. Stop. I would be so tall with the midgets, man.
Well, maybe that's your path. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you have to understand yourself and you have to just understand where you fit and where you don't fit. So as much as you can do anything, you really can't.
No,
and you have to understand, like, I know people who, as much as maybe you would love to be really good at music, you just don't got it. There's a tone deaf or there's a something, like, it's not your thing. And as much, I don't care if you spend 12 hours a day doing that thing, something within you, like your nature or how you were, like, it just doesn't click. And so,
or listen to the people around you too, because that's I've seen people who obsess themselves over something and put the time in, work really hard, put money in, whatever, and it's not working out.
Yeah.
So, like, listen to the people around you. They might be like,
hey,
listen, that ain't for you, man. That ain't for you. They call it American Idol syndrome. You show up, you're like, yeah, I got this. I'm going to Hollywood. I'm so excited. You're in front of the judges, and then you just bomb. Yeah. But you think you're all great because maybe people pumped you up, or you work really hard. Maybe you worked super hard, but, like, someone's got to put a mirror in your face. Like, look at yourself, dude.
I love when the judges are like, no, dude, you suck. And then that person's like, oh my God, I thought you guys were smart. You guys don't know anything. It's like, no, dude, seriously, like, maybe just, like, take the hint. Like, sometimes it just ain't it for you. Go find, there's something else. Like, it doesn't mean that, like, just because that thing doesn't work doesn't mean there's something else. There is something else for you. You just have to have a self-awareness and it's a certain amount of like listening to yourself and listening to the people around you and kind of reading the room and feeling, okay, maybe this is my lane instead. Yeah. So it's such a hard thing to like quantify or like say for people, because it really is, you kind of got to like, so many factors, man. There's so many. That's why
it's come relatively simple for us.
Dude, I feel so blessed. It's been it's ever since I was 9 years old and I saw people playing music in a band and I was like, dude, that's it. I'm going to do that.
This is for me.
And how can a 9-year-old make that decision and like be so confident and like, and stick with it? I have no idea, but I was lucky to have that for a long time. So,
yeah.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
All right, we're wrapping this thing up. Any final questions real quick before we head out? And,
what about couple hobbies, if we want to get into that?
Couple hobbies.
Really quickly.
Well, I mean, in terms of hobbies, guys, there's lots of room in life for hobbies.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to have multiple hobbies and enjoy it. Couple hobbies, of course, man. Like you
couple.
Yeah.
Hobbies.
Do things. Like
Yeah.
do things.
Go to the beach.
Go to the beach.
Go
enjoy
do
your
things.
life.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll have fun.
That being said, I think this conversation was really kind of about like finding what you're really good at, where your value comes, and sharing that with people and having the confidence to do that.
Yeah, work hard.
Even when
dedicate.
it doesn't work out. Yeah, work hard and dedicate. And then also have fun on the side. Don't forget, life is also about enjoying yourself and other
Balance,
things. So.
man. Balance.
Nice. All right, well, quick wrap up. Cam, you got anything else to say? Any final? He's just looking at the time.
That's all, man. We're at 2% on that battery.
Okay, we gotta go. Thank you for tuning in to
Bye.
the BRENcast episode 6. We'll be back next week. We appreciate you. Appreciate all of our members.
Subscribe.
And subscribe. And
Because you already are. You're members. Never mind.
I appreciate you guys. See ya.